Okay. Hi everybody, I am Poop with Jax and I am joined today by one of my Sidequest teammates and fellow streamer DayeDreamTV. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing really well. We actually had to reschedule this podcast, so this has like been highly anticipated for me. I'm so ready for tonight. I've been wanting to talk to you forever. Before we get going, what are your pronouns?
Oh, she, her. Her.
Shahur, I'm Shahur too.
Shahur.
So we're Shahurs here. Okay, first of all, I have to congratulate you. You just got married.
Thank you, I did.
Like, oh, how many days ago? Like 3 days ago?
Like on Friday. What is today? Wednesday? I got married on Friday.
So how do you feel? Are you calling yourself wife? Are you partners? What are you?
Yeah. So fun story. We got married and then Tony got COVID. So we were like, bye, I will touch you in 2 weeks. Like
No. Wait,
yeah.
From like right after the wedding?
Literally came down with it Saturday night. Yeah.
Oh no.
So it's been like, it's like the nightmare of like having to
let your guests
everyone
know?
Oh yeah, we told everyone. And having to let everyone know and be like, hey, so remember how our wedding was so fun? Well, but
what has the response been? Can I ask?
Everyone's been chill.
Yeah, it's kind of the world we live in, right?
Yeah. 3 people have so far also tested positive. But everyone's kind of like, hey man, the wedding was fun. Worth it. Like it's been like I was literally like wandering aimlessly around the house crying on Saturday night, like after he tested positive.
Sorry.
Just like, oh my God, everyone's gonna think we're terrible people.
No. This is the new world order. This is a reality that we all have to face when we go to group events. And you know what? I am so sorry, but don't let it mar your wedding. You know, don't let it change how you felt in the day. It doesn't take away from how beautiful it was, how amazing it was that you got married. It's just something that happens because we're in a weird simulation part of the world of the time, and it's just bullshit. And I'm so sorry.
Truly.
But I want to talk about, everybody might not know that I didn't tell anybody but you, but we wore the same wedding dress. So I feel like we sort of bonded in a weird way. Out of the literal millions upon millions of wedding dresses, you and I chose the same one, which I feel like is kind of fucking cool. It's like a sisterhood.
It is. Normally, being an Aquarius and loving to be unique, I would be like just upset.
Oh, no. Yes.
But you're amazing, and I'm like, if it was gonna be anyone, I was like, oh hell, let's go.
Let me tell you something. You picked it for the same reasons I did. I got married 4 years ago, and when I saw the dress, I was like,
it looks
different.
good.
It feels so different than other dresses. I tried on like 100 dresses, and it felt unique, and it felt like even though we wore the same dress, it looks different on you, it looks different on me, it looks different on every girl. Even the color, like mine looked really gray and blue, and yours was very like pinkish and more like sort of pinkish at the top, and then it flowed into like a purpley lilac, and I was like, yo, so amazing. I love it. It's so
flattering.
It
was so flattering. Like I was like, I've never looked better in any piece of clothing, and that's why I picked it. I was just like,
I just love, I really do. Like, and I'm a Leo, so I don't really know what it like means, like what that means. But like, I really like that we chose the same dress. It makes me really happy. So how was the day? Tell me, I'm just curious, because like, how was it getting married through the pandemic, and how was the experience, and how long have you been with your partner, and just all the details? I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, great. We got engaged in February of 2020. So that was fun. Yeah. We were supposed to get married April 21st, 2021, and then we pushed it to this year, which was part of the reason why, like, I felt so guilty. Like, I was like, we literally pushed the wedding to avoid this, and here we are. But it was magical. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I really approached planning it like I was just planning a big themed party, and the theme was wedding. And everyone had an amazing time. Like no one ever stopped dancing. It was a beautiful, like, fairy garden kind of venue.
Love it.
We had llamas because I'm extra.
You had multiple llamas.
There were two. There were two wedding llamas.
That is amazing. I'm jealous. And they're so soft. Did you get to like touch them, feed them, hang out with them?
Yeah. We got to like pet them and take pictures. So
everyone find a llama for your wedding. How did you even do that?
Ever since like llamas being at weddings became a thing, probably back in like 2008, 2009, literally anyone I knew would like post an article would go viral and it would get sent to me like 5 times because I love llamas and alpacas. Like that is my thing. And so I've always wanted a llama at my wedding, and there just happened to be a place that did it near our venue. And it was like, let's go. And my mom made them these like beautiful fake like succulent garlands that they wore around their necks. God. They were so soft and sweet and wonderful. And we took pictures with them. And then we went off to take more pictures. And then all the guests got to take pictures with them. Butterfly and Fabio were their names. And
love it. Are you kidding me? That is so, first of all, I think that's so unique and original and awesome. And like, I love that you had llamas guests at your wedding. Like, did you have to warn people, by the way, that there were llamas coming?
Oh, no. I tried. Very few people knew that they were actually going to be there. Like, I tried to keep it a surprise for people.
Was everyone, like losing it when they saw them?
Yeah, no one. So what it was like, everyone was surprised, but not shocked. Like, they were, like, not expecting it, but then they were like, but this makes sense.
They know you.
Of course, she has llamas at her wedding. I mean, like, I used to wear a llama onesie, like, every stream. Like, so it's not... It's not like I have llama emotes. Like, it's not a thing that people don't know about me.
It wouldn't even have been your wedding without the llamas. Like, you needed the llamas there. They were basically your officiant.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that is amazing. How long have you been with your partner or husband now, right?
Husband. I know. Yeah. Earlier today, I was like in Sprouts, like, where's the cough medicine? And she was, oh, what kind of cough do you have? I was like, well, it's not me. It's my boy. It's my fiance. It's my husband.
Yes, you have to go through all stages. Yes.
We've known each other since like 2014, but we've been dating since like 2017.
Nice.
Maybe.
So this was like a long time coming.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I'm so happy for you. And I am like sorry with everything that's like happening now that like you can't kind of be with your husband right now. But at the same time, it's sort of it's sort of an interesting thing that you'll look back on, and it's an interesting chapter of all of our lives. And I feel like in some ways it won't, mar the day, but it will be like a thing of, you remember back when you got COVID the day after our wedding? Like, my mom brings up that my dad had a cold on their wedding day to this day, and they laugh about it because he was like sniveling and stuff, and they think it was so funny. Like, in the pictures, he was like trying to keep it together. So at least he looked good for the wedding too, and he wasn't.
He looked great for the wedding. Yeah, and I keep making the joke. I'm like, baby, you're so dramatic. You literally heard me say in sickness and in health, and you were like, prove it, like
right now, day one. Let's get those vows in place right now. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you though. It's a nice transition time too, because now you're like, we're married and you had to wait a long time through you had to push your engagement back, and it's amazing. So I'm so happy for you. And now I want to ask you, so you started dating. When did you start streaming? Like, when in your life did that happen?
That also happened. I started streaming. It's coming. My 5 years is coming up. Yes! I started in like June 16th, 2017. He actually encouraged me to start streaming and helped set me up because I had no idea what to do. And to this day, I'm not good with technology. So he like set that all up for me like a few months into dating. But yeah, my 5 years is coming up. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually if he was like one of the people to sort of help you get that started, if that was part of your dynamic. Because I feel like, you know, I started streaming in 5 years ago too. And my husband, then boyfriend too, was the reason why I even started too. So I really relate, and it resonates like that he was a motivating factor. So you've been streaming for 5 years. Is it your full time?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I recently just kind of took on 2 different part-time at-home jobs because I was personally cracking under the pressure of not knowing, like not having some sort of steady income I knew about.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're planning a wedding.
I was planning a wedding. It's been a struggle the last like few months with streaming, of it being super up and down. And so I was just like, listen, I need to. I honestly did it more for just taking my mind off of, because you know when it's the only thing you do, it's like the only thing to think about, and then you start obsessively thinking about it, and then that just does more harm than good. So I was like, let me get some jobs to kind of like split my focus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is my main source of income. But I am an actor first and foremost, and that's why he encouraged me to start streaming, because I voiced some characters in Life is Strange, and he was like, you need to stream this for the fans. Like, they are gonna want to watch you play this game. And I was like, cool, how? And he was like,
let me show you.
Let me show you.
So this is so funny because you and I, so we picked the same wedding dress. I don't act anymore, but I was an actress. And then my husband was like, you need to stream because it will be a way to like spread. I feel like we are living parallel lives.
Are we just the same person?
What the fuck? Okay, so that's really it. So you did voiceover work for Life is Strange, which is awesome. How was that experience? Like, tell me all about that. That is so cool. What was your character's name?
It was mind-blowing. So I do a few characters. My main character is Kate Marsh, and then I'm also Alyssa Anderson and Juliette Watson, as well as some other just like random voices sprinkled throughout the game. And I had done one like non-union voiceover commercial and then booked a video game, and I was like, what? Whoa. So cool. But like, you know, had no idea it was going to blow up into the game it did. Had no clue what it was going to be. I was just really excited to have booked a job, to have booked a voiceover job for my first time. So it was intimidating going in because I'm in the anxiety club. And so I like had no idea what to expect, but it was a really great experience. The director made me feel really comfortable, really helped me find the characters, and we did it just how the game came out in like segments. We recorded in segments as well, so it wasn't like all at once.
Right. So was that your first like acting job ever, or was that just your first major voiceover?
It was my first major voiceover job. So I actually booked that at the tail end of a web series I was doing. I'm in a modern adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma called Emma Approved. It's free on YouTube. It also had its own kind of little like cult fan following, which was also unexpected for me and threw me into the wild world of the internet in a way I never thought I would be. And I did that from
in
like
good ways or bad ways?
Good ways.
Oh, okay.
I did that. I booked that in 2013 and we filmed through 2014. And before that, like, I didn't know like about fandoms. I didn't know what shipping someone meant. I didn't know, like, I learned so much by doing that project. Right. It like engrossed me into internet culture in a way I hadn't been privy to before. And, like, I had fans. Like, I was just out of college. Like, I was just trying to book work, you know, like do the actor grind. And all of a sudden I had fans. I was like, what is this? What is this madness?
Right. And it happened so quickly. Like, immediately you were like, oh my God, now you're off and running and the treadmill's going. You're like, holy crap. So that was in 2013, you said?
Yeah.
So when did you start acting? Like, when was the first time you ever?
Oh, like my whole life.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
I come from like a theater family and did theater my whole life. I went to school in Chicago. I have a BA in theater performance. And then graduated college, moved out to LA. I mean, I'm from Southern California, so I kind of like moved home and then to LA. But
you're not in California still?
Yes, I'm still in Los Angeles. You know.
Oh boy. Okay.
Living the grinding the life, how it goes.
So what are your like? So your main focus is theater still, or now you do more, you know, voice acting, the TV, movie?
I not theater because there's not really great theater in LA. It's my first love, my first passion, my origin story, of course. But I'm out here. Well, I came out here to focus on TV and film, but ever since the pandemic hit, I've really zeroed in and solely focused more on voiceover and trying to expand my voiceover career.
Yeah. And voiceover work is so much fun because you get to be incredibly expressive, but you get to do it in a way that you feel like it doesn't matter what you're not conscious. Like in theater, you have to be conscious of so many moving parts, and in movie and TV, you have to be conscious of, but when you do voice acting, usually like you're alone in a booth and it's you, and you can feel and express, and you have to emote huge, and it's air conditioned, and it's like, it's such like a nice experience, because I have been on sets that were like terrible, and you're sweating and you're outside all day for 12 hours, and you know, it's like and the director's just like, do it again. So it's a different experience. And so did the pandemic affect the climate for actors in LA? Like, how do you do only self-tapes now? Like, how does that work?
Oh yeah, the pandemic, I was already there were already lots and lots of self-tapes. But obviously it shifted to 100% self-tapes. And it also shifted to, you know, a lot of voiceover people already had nice microphones to audition with, but then some people had home setups, and then a bunch of other people, you know, immediately set up the like higher caliber home setups as soon as it hit. And it's been very interesting. It's been, you know, a blessing and a curse of, you know, now people can record an audition from anywhere in the world, which is amazing. But then also for those people that have made the move to LA or New York, now the pool that you're in is even bigger, and you have even more competition. And so, you know, it's good and bad, because I can now audition for things, you know, that record in Texas, but and that's really cool for me. But like those poor Texas people who used to like be the ones getting the jobs are like, now there's like hundreds more people. But like it's been nice. Like I took a ton of just like voiceover classes and workshops over pandemic, because they were all over, you know, Zoom and everything, and I had no desire to like do TV film, you know, like I had no desire to like self-tape and then watch it on Zoom and get corrected. I was like, I'm good. With voiceover, it was different. It was a lot more fun. I think the voiceover community can just be a lot more accepting and helpful as well. Just like, I think they're naturally just more inclined to be friendlier sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a different subset. I think that like you can kind of break it in like theater, TV, film, and maybe like voice actor is its own sort of like niche part of it, because because even voice acting isn't just for films or TVs, or it can be for like books and narrations of documentaries. Like it's such an expansive, but it's a smaller subset of like a subset, you know? So I love that you've kind of honed in on what your goals are and what you want to do. And then you're doing things to diversify right now, but streaming is still like a huge part of your life. And we're on Team Sidequest together. Let's go. So did you always do charity streams, or is that something more new?
I did, yeah. So when I first started streaming, I remember like I didn't even know about Tiltify or like any of the ways to do it. And I remember there were so many, I mean, there still are, but there were so many like natural disasters happening kind of like the first year I streamed. And so there was like fires and this and that. And so I did some fundraisers for that. And I've really been I do, I don't know, at least 4 a year ever since I started. Yeah, it really is important to me to give back in that way and do good in that way.
Yeah, and I think it makes it so that you use your corner of Twitch in like a selfless, I think all forms of streaming, as long as, you're not a toxic community or, whatever. I think that you can use your corner however you want, but I don't think that there's a better way than to try to do, even a dollar raise for charity is $1 more towards an important cause. So I love that you've always did that. I think that's great. And I also think it's really fun that you and I met through Sidequest, and I feel like so many people that Twitch is an ocean, right? It's huge. It's really hard to find like-minded people in the ocean that is Twitch. And then Sidequest came together, and that's how you and I met. We met through Sidequest, and Sidequest is obviously amazing and incredible. And so I love that we have that shared passion. And there's something else, and I know you probably knew I was already going to talk to you about this, because you're also a huge Buffy fan.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a Buffy tattoo, so it says "Be Brave, Live" from season 5, The Gift. I'm planning on another one. I am obsessed, and I know that you did a Buffy stream, sort of would you call it a web series type of thing?
So I'm so honored to have been asked to be a part of this project. But my friend Ash wrote a 2-part pilot, basically audio drama of Sunnydale 20 years later. And he asked me to be a part of it, and we did a charity table read of it. It wasn't live; we pre-recorded it, and then it's on YouTube. I think it's called Sunnydale AV Club, but it's this. He did such a good job, and as a Buffy fan, I was so hyped reading it, and then listening to people like Mother effing Jennifer Hale was a part of it. Mark Meir was a part of it. My friends Brizzy Voices, Brianna White, just so many incredible voice actors, and I got to act with them, and it made my life.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh my, first of all, because Buffy is, oh God, the poop Coven's all bracing themselves, because I go on a Buffy rant once a stream at least, because I'm so in love. I've watched it every 6 or 7 times a year, every year since I was 7, obsessed. And I also, they want me to show, I have Mr. Pointy right there, and if you could see, that's a signed Sarah Michelle Gellar picture back there. So I have
amazing.
But I'm they know, they absolutely know, I'm obsessed. So when I saw you do that, I was like,
too. I need to really? Yes.
Oh my God, do you want to get it?
Yes.
Go get it. I'll wait. There. We will wait. I would love to see your Mr. Pointy. We both have Mr. Pointies. Although my Mr. Pointy does look like it's part of the dragon. I wish that I could put a light on it. It's right there though. Mr. Pointy is the stake from Buffy. It's right here, but it's just hard to see it. Wait, let me see. So I have a faith in a Buffy pop too. Yes! Let's go! Oh my God, amazing.
And then I have my Willow versus Willow pop doll.
So you have the Willow, and I have a Faith Buffy pop. So we almost have a Scooby gang. I have a Faith Buffy pop. You have Willow. We almost have the Scooby gang. We need Xander and Giles. And
I have in the main house where I don't stream, I have a poster that an artist came through in LA, and it was a gallery with a bunch of Buffy art, and you could buy prints and stuff, and it's a poster of it's a Dingoes Ate My Baby fumigation party poster.
Yes, I love it.
And then I have on either side, is it Nan? Her name is Nan something, an artist, and one is Buffy and Angel head back to back, and then the other is Good Willow, Bad Willow back to back, and they're my prized possessions.
Willow doppelganger Willow and normal Willow?
No, Bad Willow.
Season 6 Willow. Dark Willow. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, let me tell you something. I love that so much. I also appreciate, I always feel whenever I meet another diehard Buffy fan, I'm yes. Yes, because there's just something about the show that no matter how many years has passed, it never gets old, and it always stays like up to date. And I know everything that happened with Joss Whedon, it like left a bitter taste because it's like, but Sarah Michelle Queen Gellar said herself, Buffy is, I'm Buffy and I give you permission to continue to love it. And I'm like,
her Instagram is life.
Her Instagram, I was like, because I was devastated. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, we all were. Yeah,
I was like, what
hard.
do you do?
I mean, as someone who was also a hardcore Harry Potter fan, I've been in a weird place for a few years. I've been in a weird place.
Yeah. It's really, I feel the same thing. It's hard when you care, and I think that's the thing about like when TV shows or movies, when you care about something, and me too with Harry Potter, you care about something so much, Buffy, it becomes a part of like the fabric of who you are. And I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but it does. And so when you hear that these people who sort of you've either idolized or have become, they're the ones who birthed it into the earth, and you're like, oh, you're actually an asshole. You're like, oh, how do I? But then you have like, and then I kind of go back and forth because it's like so many other people are amazing people and they were just as much a part of it. Like sometimes they don't get to keep their baby. They release it to the world and now their baby is ours. Like it's ours now. So our baby. You can't take it back. Once it's out, it's ours. But I love that you, okay, but I have to ask you as a Buffy fan, are you a Bangle or a Spuffy? I have to ask.
I have never heard them put that way before. A Bangle or a Spuffy?
I'm in the Buffy subreddit, so like that's like.
I'm an idiot when it comes to Reddit. Like I don't know.
Oh, I'm like
anything.
deep. I am in forums for Buffy. Like I have a sickness. I'm obsessed. So that's what we call it. In the fandom calls it Bangle Spuffy. I didn't make it up. I promise. I'm not that clever.
I believe you didn't make it up. I'm definitely. I'm assuming Bangle is Buffy Angel.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh, David Boreanaz is so attractive in the early years. Like he's just so cute.
It's amazing. I've shaped my whole like desires around. I had my awakening when I saw him walk into the prom episode and he came through for her and they danced the wild. And that was my wedding song. I danced the Sunday's Wild Horses. Like I literally got as close as I could with my husband. I was like, all right, they're the same genre. They're close enough. They're broody, low eyebrows, big foreheads. I got as close as I physically could, but I love Buffy and I love Buffy and Angel, but Angel is an asshole.
Well, so is Spike. So
true. It's hard, but you know what though? Honestly, I do love and appreciate the show so much, and I do think that it represents a huge part of people's lives even to this day. And the woman power is so important right now, especially. I wish everyone could watch it because
I know
we need it in this world right now because everything that's going on, I do feel like things have been really heavy, and I guess for streamers I do feel like we become outlets for people to feel like they have this moment away from the world, but we're not immune to those things. So I've been rewatching Buffy right now myself to just give me like a little bit of extra boost and power.
I feel like you're gonna give me the bug to like rewatch it. You're gonna like give me the Buffy bug and I'm gonna be like, oh, let's go.
What's your favorite season?
That's hard. I also haven't rewatched I used to rewatch it at least once a year, and I haven't in several years. So now I'm like, I feel
due
rusty.
for a rewatch.
I'm due for a rewatch. I feel rusty. I will tell you my favorite episode of all time is Fear Itself. And I watch it every October. I watch
Halloween.
Fear Itself.
I love Fear Itself. My favorite, because I'm a cliche, is Prom, because that was my moment of like, but I hated the Hellhound story. I was like, I just want Prom, the whole Prom where she gets the class protector award. Like, my heart, like I cannot. But I love Fear Itself too, and I also think that Fear Itself has a really important meaning too. That fear feels a lot bigger than it really is. It's a very like on the nose, but like it really, I think about it all the time. I literally actively think when I'm having a hard time, like, what would Buffy do? What would Buffy do? Like to get me through.
I love that. I love that so much.
I love it so much. Did you watch Angel, by the way?
I did. I only watched it once, as opposed to like the 6 times I've seen all of Buffy, but I did watch it.
Yeah, I love that. So because do you ever incorporate like acting into your content? Because you're still acting. That's still like your pursuit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I? Well, I just recently finished playing Dragon Age Origins, and for some reason, because technology hates me, after like the first 2 weeks I started playing, this sound just stopped working. Like I could hear the game, but chat couldn't, no matter what I did. And so through the rest of the game, I voice acted every character until we
Oh my God. So that is the way you organically brought it in. Wow.
Yes. And then I also, I play a D&D game every Monday night, and that's, role play, acting, fun. I do, it's not on my channel, but it's on -1 Charisma. And so we do that every Monday, and I definitely do some acting in that. But other than that, probably not really. You'd think I'd have found a way to incorporate it, but like,
it's hard. And it's maybe you don't want it to be part of, because it's like two different worlds, right? And maybe would you want to incorporate in, or do you like that they feel separate?
I just don't know how I would. I mean, I guess I have put together, I don't want to say like I'm known for, but I feel like one of the big draws on my channel is some of the videos I have. And so I've put a lot of thought and time and editing and creativity into like some raid videos that I have, like some Be Right Back videos that I have. So I think that's where it shows up. It's just like, it seems like a lot of work to figure out like, let's like do a skit. I was recently a part of, during Women's Month, I was a part of a Twitch reading of, oh dear, not 12th Night. It was a Shakespeare show that my mind is blanking on right now. No, it was 12th Night. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 12th Night, and we like rehearsed for 2 weeks and then like did it live on Twitch, and that was super fun.
Yeah, I think Twitch can be such a good like vessel for acting. I mean, it lends itself in some ways, and then it also is kind of challenging because I do feel like you have to have like preconceived content if you want to act. Like you can do like live skits too, but it's hard to do things by yourself, like to do a live skit without anybody to bounce off of or anything to like, you can only do so many monologues.
Yeah. You're constantly, every good streamer is constantly improving with their chat and whatnot. So there is that constant kind of thing right there. Right. But I think more acting stuff, it takes greater endeavors and time and planning than I have, but I'm always down to be a part of anything anyone comes up with. I'm like, let's go.
Let's do it. I mean, for me, I acted in New York, so it's like a slightly different energy, I'd feel. Then I feel like all the major hubs of acting have their own vibe, like Atlanta, Canada, LA, New York, London, they all have their own like energies, right? And so when I was acting in New York, I just found that the people were, it took a toll on me. I kept getting cast in very dark roles, like over and over and over again. And the last one that I had, and a trigger warning for anybody, but was like I had to just find a beloved person who like was a drug addict, their family member was dead, and like I was a drug addict too, and it was like that sort of thing over and over. And I don't know what that means about me, that like my manager just kept sending me out for like horribly dark dystopian things over and over and over again, but I just like could not do it. And at the time I was also planning my wedding. I was like, I'm just gonna take a year off. I'm gonna just focus on streaming and I had other side hustles. I'm gonna focus on streaming. I'm just gonna focus on my friggin' wedding. And then I just like never picked it up again. I just was like, all right, this is, because streaming, I just get to be myself and I can just be my silly, lighthearted, whatever, because I had to constantly like shovel into dark energy for acting like over and over and over again. And I had a manager and an agent, and they both sent me, like, I almost moved to Atlanta because they were like, there's grittier stuff in Atlanta. You gotta go. My husband and I were like literally looking at houses in Atlanta to move to. And then we were like, let's just take a year off. So though it's funny how life sort of can change and twist and turn, but you have been doing it substantially longer than I have. And I feel like you found your niche too. You found a part that feels like you. I feel like your voice is so great for voice acting. I really do. I do. I think it has like a natural hilt, like little like tilt. I don't know what the word is, but it has like a. I feel like I could hear you in so many different voiceover roles, like in like TV shows and in
let's go. Let's look at you. You tell them.
my lips to every agent manager in LA's ears, right? But that's amazing that you're able. Do you feel like the industry? Because I didn't find it like a healthy, it was very like cutthroat. It still is, I mean, everywhere. But has that been something that you've been able to kind of like get through and you are able to navigate those waters?
I mean, like, you have a mental breakdown every 6 months, and that's pretty average. Yeah. There's like a quote, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but there's like a Meisner quote that's like, if you can do anything else and you're happy doing it, go do it, because this is a miserable life to lead. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm very open to something else coming along that like takes over my life. But after, almost 10 years in LA, this is still the thing that I would really love to succeed at. And so you just keep going. And actually, a director in a project I was just a part of, I was like expressing like, man, like, how do you still feel hopeful after like the industry just like tears you down over and over again? And he was like, the industry doesn't give up on people. People give up on the industry. So if you just keep going, like, you're going to eventually make it. And I was like, wow, that's so powerful.
It's a powerful way to think about it. It's true, because the industry is going to be there and you can continue to chomp at the bit of it, or you could walk away. And I think it takes a lot for a person to say. And I think that was amazing, like the Meisner advice, is there's anything else that makes you happy and fulfills you, to walk away, because
please go do it.
Please, because I don't think people appreciate truly how grueling and heart-wrenching acting is. Not even like once you make it even. It's like the getting auditions and getting callbacks and not getting it at the last minute, or like all of those things that are, you audition over and over. You constantly are walking through the door and you're pushing yourself through the door to then have the door close again and again and again. So it's an art form in and of itself. It's the art of rejection and being able to be like, I'm still a bad bitch and I'm going to keep going and keep pushing. And that's amazing that you're able to do that.
Yeah, well, I try. I will say that it's funny. I joke how like I was kind of the mindset of like, acting's so hard, for all the reasons you just said. Like, you have to spend all this money without knowing you're ever going to make money, and everything you do, people are judging, and you might not make it even if you're talented. So I'm gonna stream where everyone judges you and everything is, it's like all the same shit.
It's true.
Like,
it's just a different story. You feel like you have more control when you're a streamer, right?
You do.
You say who comes in the door.
You press the play button, you say when you're on and off, but it's the same idea of like, you put all this time, energy, and creativity into something and you don't know what is actually going to come out of it. Yeah. And for me, something I've really struggled with streaming is like, I know you had a similar thing, like, we've both been streaming for 5 years and like, you just made partner and it was this amazing thing. And like, but like, being here for 5 years without making partner, even though it's not that important, you're like, what am I doing wrong? And it's so hard not to think that something's wrong with you. Like, that's where I struggle. I'm like, I can't get enough people in. What's wrong with me that like people don't want to be here? And it's so terrible to think that way. And it's like, it's a similar thing. I'm used to it with acting, which I've done my whole life. It's that same rejection. I know when I don't get a role, it has nothing to do with me. Right. And now I have to like figure out how to apply that to streaming as well. Right.
And I think the most important thing is that I've seen, and I know you've seen it too, I honestly don't believe that any streamer is ever, maybe the tier 1 giants, but in general, I don't feel like any streamer is ever content with where they are. They really aren't. We are programmed to say, okay, what's next? all right, I made this, what's next? Let's get to the next stage. And even when you see your numbers grow, even when you get partnered, whatever, you're always sort of on to the next phase of like, because if you stop, right, and you become complacent, you can plateau. So we're all hustlers and we're all grinding. Really, I mean, I've heard people, I've been lurking at people's streams who have 2,000 viewers. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, I just want to get I feel like I see our numbers dipping. I'm like, you have 2,000 people in here. Like, and it's because when you're swimming in the pond, you get used to the waters, right? And you're constantly looking for the bigger pond, it's going to be a lake, and you want it to just keep getting bigger, and you kind of become blind to your own successes, and you just look at the failures of where am I not getting to. So that's something that I work on too, is like appreciating, and I'm really hard on myself, so like appreciating where you are now, but not being like, like allowing yourself to say, okay, we're here where we are now and where would I like to get to, but not saying that because I'm not where I want to be, it's like something that's wrong with me. It's just like, we gotta figure, that's the biggest thing. And let me tell you something, Day, getting partnered changes nothing.
Oh, I know.
Nothing.
I'm so aware, and I struggle with it in a sense. I've realized that like I was the kid who in school, like I needed to get the A, I needed to like do well, I needed to get an A on the paper in the class and the whatever, and my brain has equated making partner with getting the A, and so my brain is like, you're doing the work, you're showing up, but you're still not getting the grade, and then my brain like just short wires. It's like,
but that's the thing, is that no matter how much work you put into content creation, there's no guarantee that you will that the payout, if you will, not like financial, but like the whatever you deem is what you're looking for will be reciprocated, right? Like if partner's what you're going for. So that's the thing that is so similar with acting though, because you can be so talented, like ridiculously awe-inspiring, and like it can still be a struggle. Literally, and that's how it is it's just a different face to the same sort of monster, But I do feel like, partner is overhyped. It really is. I mean,
100%.
It really is overhyped.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's such a silly thing of also like being like, oh, well, like, when you're looking for brand deals, like they don't know that it's overhyped, and like we're like, well, you're not partnered, I don't want to work with you, and it's like, but that okay, all right.
Right. And I think the thing is that like, because they don't really understand that Twitch has like this huge, like, so partners are a very small percentage, but then there's a huge expanse between what you need to get affiliate and where a lot of people are really close to getting partnered. Like there's a huge, averaging 3 viewers and averaging 50 on Twitch is a huge, vast ocean. So I do think that brands don't understand, and they do an arbitrary, are they partnered on Twitch? No, and they just toss it out. And I think that's the wrong thing, and I think that they should have a step in between affiliate. Like I don't know if it's like a tier, like affiliate 1, affiliate 2, or something just to differentiate, because like getting partnered, it didn't take away from every achievement any affiliate ever makes happens before you're partnered.
Oh yeah.
Like, like all of the good that you did, all the good that anybody like does as an affiliate, it doesn't get erased. It just, you got partnered. Twitch says, all right, you're doing something. All right, here you go. And then that's where the real work starts, right? Like that's where you're like, all right, well now I have to still kick down doors. I still have to knock. I feel like it's a Breaking Bad reference, but like I have to be the one who knocks still, because even though you're partnered, doors don't just fly off the hinges. They don't.
Sure.
My accent just fly off. I was like from Long Island for a second.
Fly off the hinges. Fly right off the hinges.
I don't know where that came from right now, but honestly, I do feel like, it is overhyped, and it is something that people burn out for. And I wish that people knew that, like, yes, it's a great achievement, but it's not the end all be all of Twitch streaming. It's just not.
100%. And like to what you were saying before, like I think it's like a double-edged sword of what you were saying of not being content where you're at, because like you do want to keep growing. That's a good thing. That's like a part of being a creative. That's part of being hardworking, of running your own business, which we're all doing, is wanting to constantly grow. And so like I do think that is a really great thing, and something that really helps me, because you do get in those moments of, like you said, forgetting what you have achieved. And so something I have to like stop and like tell myself sometimes is just like, listen, like where you're at is somebody's goal right now. Right. And like, I just like sit and appreciate that for a second. When I start getting really frustrated with like not being at my next goal, I'm like, well, you have achieved someone else's goal right now. So let's sit and like appreciate that for a second. And that usually helps bring me down.
Yeah. And I think that's, first of all, normally, okay, Daydream. So normally I don't ever like address raids because like we're in a podcast, it's me and you, baby. But we got a raid from our Sidequestie, Athena. So let's say hi to Athena. And Sidequesties unite, the trifecta Sidequesties right here. So thank you, Athena, for the raid. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, I do really believe that this is a conversation streamers have to have, is like, we all have had these conversations. Actually, Athena did a podcast with me and she and I had a similar conversation. It's really important that we sort of diminish the power that, you know, like a lot of things that are out of our control have. Like, I applied for a partner, I think like 4 times, and maybe 5 times. And after each time, I was like, I didn't even want to do it. I really didn't even want to apply. And my community was just like, just keep applying. And every partnered friend that I had was like, apply 1,000 times. Just keep knocking on the door. They'll say yes eventually. So like, it really feels like one of those things that you don't even understand the circumstances of why they say no 1 minute, why they say yes the next minute. Then you have people who have like who have never even streamed on Twitch, but they have a big platform somewhere else that's not going to translate to Twitch, because Twitch is a whole different demon, and then they're going to partner them instantly. So it really is one of those things where it's like, just focus on the here and now, and then like each micro step, even if you can't say like, oh, what do I want 6 months from now? Maybe what do I want like for the next 6 streams? What is a goal that I have, you know, smaller things. And that's how I do it. And I feel like I just want to keep pushing in different ways, like, and constantly like figure out more things. And that's the thing, is that I feel like I am not ever present. I'm always like, on to the next thing. You know what I mean? So that's sort of my tricky thing. I know it's so late. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Full disclosure, it's not late. I'm in West Coast. It's like 9.
You are on the West Coast. I forget.
Like full disclosure, I've been like so like I have friends staying in the guest house, and they like had all this wine, and we were like wine tasting starting at like 1 in the afternoon.
That sounds like
that yawn was totally like a
wine hangover yawn.
I had so much wine today. I didn't.
I love, honestly, Wednesday wine tasting. That is amazing. I love it so much. I love that. I haven't had a wine tasting in, I think, ever, actually. I drink wine with ice, so I'm kind of a failure. But I like it. It tastes like juice if you have it with ice.
Eaten pizza, so I'm not surprised.
Oh my god, the pizza. Okay, so first of all, I just want to ask you, because we're almost to the end. I want to ask you. I do rapid fire questions at the end.
Okay, let's go.
And I need to know these things before we wrap up. Okay, favorite color?
Purple.
Okay,
purple girl.
Lucky number?
Don't have one.
You don't have not even a number that registers in your heart somewhere? No number. Okay. I think almost everyone has always given a number. I think you're the first one who's like, no numbers.
I'm a weirdo. I literally have never had a number that like means anything to me.
Feels something to you.
Yeah. I feel bad about it. I wish I did, but like no number has ever like shown itself to me in that light.
As a Twitch streamer, you have to like, it's obligatory 69, right?
Sure. Well, yeah, nice. Like, you know, but
what is your favorite movie?
Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh, I like that. Fun. Okay. What favorite TV show?
Promise. Well, we've been talking about Buffy, so like Buffy.
Okay, well, after Buffy, do you have a second favorite?
Second favorite. Oh gosh, I watched so much TV and can't remember any of it.
I know. I watch so much too.
I love the first few seasons of New Girl are just.
Ooh, I have not seen New Girl. That's with Emily. What's her name? Zooey Deschanel.
Yes, Zooey Deschanel.
You look like her. Have you gone that before?
I have. All through high school and college. Before she was like famous. This was like pre all pre 500 Days of Summer, I would get, you look like the girl from Elf. And I was like, cool.
If you had bangs, you could be twins. Yeah, you could. I mean, I could totally see it. I could totally see it. Okay, so, which is a compliment, by the way.
No, I love it. It's a great comparison. I love it.
You'll take it. Okay, and what's your favorite food?
Tacos.
Ooh, you're like the third tacos in a row. I swear, tacos. What is your favorite kind of taco?
So there's a place near us that does amazing tacos, and they've got like fresh like corn tortillas, and they do a veggie one. Like I'm a flexitarian at this point, but like I don't eat a lot of meat, and so they'd have one that's like squashes and corn, and it's spicy and it's delicious, and it's just in this warm. Oh, it's so good.
Love. Oh my God, tacos. I'm telling you, taco party for TwitchCon. It's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love tacos too, but like I think you're the third person in a row to say tacos. I feel like taco party.
I am also a huge sucker for like a bar pretzel, like a Bavarian bar pretzel with like the cheese and the mustard dipping sauces.
Yes. Oh, so fucking good. Okay, and I guess the last question is, do you have any like sayings, words of advice, or anything that you feel is like sort of your like thing?
Well, I mean, in regards to like streaming, my thing is I say my community is positively weird and weirdly positive. That's like our vibe. But other than that, I don't feel like I have any Dayisms.
Okay. Oh, I just smacked my face with my. Well, Day, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for sharing insight on so much of your life. Congratulations again on getting married. I'm so happy for you. I hope that your husband feels better. I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. I know he'll get better soon, and you'll just remember the day as being beautiful and amazing and incredible, because that's exactly what it was. So
it's true. Yes. And I do want to, if I can like shout out one last thing. Yes. I am a part, if anyone is a fan of Scooby-Doo, I am Velma in a fan series called Mystery Incorporated. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's like a CW Riverdale Buffy Supernatural inspired version of Scooby-Doo, and it just came out.
Let's go.
It came out like a week and a half ago. So like, go watch it. We're real hyped about it.
Thank you so much again. We have DayeDreamTV with us today, and I am PoopWitchX, and this was an episode of Coven Conversations. We will see you next week. Thanks so much, Day. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you.
Bye.